The facts matter.
Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. It is December 7th, 2020, and I want to thank Dark Visage for this footage. This absolute piece of garbage that you're about to hear speak has his own channel along with over 15,000 subscribers following him, who believes that wearing a mask and mandates for wearing masks in the middle of this illness are unconstitutional, and has cherry-picked laws that he doesn't explain, but believes that it's so unconstitutional that he needs to make an issue out of it. I'm going to let you listen to some of what he says, and then we will kind of piece apart what the actual laws are, what they actually mean, and how many areas he's incorrect in. But just aside from that point, the disgusting behavior of this particular party and the idea that he would actually dedicate time like this to attempting to try to do maximum amount of harm and damage to people is thoroughly sickening to me. For those of you that are already aware, I have said that I would be exposing channels that were the anti-illness or anti-mask wearing, social distancing channels for the disgusting garbage that they are, and letting you guys be aware of what's actually out there in terms of the amount of social media that's spreading disinformation. This is a really good one here. And as I said, over 15,000 subscribers that are sucking up this garbage that he's spewing in an attempt to try to damage as many people as possible. Just to move a little bit further with this to get you guys started, let's talk about mandates real quick. This man clearly believes that mandates are not laws, but in fact, a law and a mandate actually have the exact same power in order to be enforced. The only difference is how it came in to be a law. So a law is passed by the Senate and the House of Representatives and signed by a governor. A mandate is made by a governor with the power given to them by the legislature in a state of emergency. Now, you're going to find that there are many times that he talks about this being unconstitutional and that mandates are not laws, for example. And what we're going to do is we're going to show that not only is it constitutional, but it actually is the way this country is run and set up for the purpose of maintaining maximum safety to its citizens.
To the North Idaho Exposed channel, my name is Casey Whalen, and thank you for joining us today. Well, we have a huge problem in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and Kootenai County. It's looking like law enforcement, the police department, and the sheriff's department are proactively educating on COVID mandates, social distancing, and wearing masks. The problem with this, over the last month of November, I have done multiple police reports and 911 calls, they're called CAD reports, and the number of people calling their neighbor and reporting on their neighbor is starting to increase.
Now you'll notice this jackass is talking about calling and reporting on your neighbor. He almost makes it sound like here that you're outside getting your mail, you notice your neighbor doesn't have a mask on while they're walking their dog in their own yard, and thereby picking up the phone and contacting the police. But that is not, in fact, what he's referring to at all. Let's listen.
And I'm going to show you more of these police reports. So if you missed the last video that I did where I read over 100 pages, maybe not 100 pages, but I received over 100-page reported police reports and CAD reports or calls to 911 during the first part of November. That was extremely eye-opening. Well, now we have the rest of November here. And I'm going to show you at the end of this that our sheriff is no longer upholding the rights of the citizenry.
No longer upholding the rights of the citizenry. This man is taking the time, ladies and gentlemen, to gather together police report calls and add up the amount of times that they respond to a call having to do with masks or social distancing in an attempt to try to regulate a mandate that has been put out by the governor of the state legally, constitutionally, in an attempt to try to save people's lives. And this man is going out of his way to gather together police reports and add up the number of calls that come in on people that are not masked. You'll see here, in businesses, not your neighbor, in businesses. Here we go.
So let's go ahead and take a look at these police reports that I've received here yesterday. I have followed up now after reading this police report with the police department, the sheriff's department, and the ISP, and you'll see why at the end, why I contacted the ISP. So this first police report here, it doesn't tell us where it is. It was on November 16th. We're just basically picking up where we left off last time with our last public records request video. And this is in Coeur d'Alene, all these I just got the police reports this time. This is all in Coeur d'Alene. The reporting party wants to know what steps he can take if his employer is not requiring people to wear masks, even though there is a mask mandate. Reporting party did not want to provide what business this was, but wants to speak with an officer.
Really? Does this sound like your neighbor to you, ladies and gentlemen? This man has called in requesting information only, not filing a report, not turning anyone in, just requesting information from the police department, wanting to know what he can do about an employer that he's working for that is not requiring people to wear masks. Maybe he might be concerned about bringing this illness home to grandma. Or maybe he might be concerned about bringing this illness home to someone who might have a compromised immune system. But apparently, this is telling on your neighbors.
Just general questions, did not want to file anything yet. And here we go. This next one is the UPS store on November 16th. Jason Karodis called 911 and complained that the UPS store reporting party wants to report that no one at location is wearing a mask. Asked the manager to go to city website and review the mask mandate listed on the website regarding the regulations for people in the businesses. Here's the next one on November 17th. This is Sean Keenan, and now Sean Keenan was, at the time he was underage, I believe, and back when the KKK compound was here with Richard Butler, and he was in the car that was shot at by the KKK. He's now part of the Kootenai County Democratic Party, but he called the next day after the last report on November 17th and reported neither of the employees at the UPS store are wearing masks. Reporting party does not want, just wants them to be educated.
And ladies and gentlemen, this idiot considers himself to be a reporter. Now, are you hearing anything that sounds like, oh, I'm going to call and narc on my neighbor here? These people aren't even filing actual police reports. They're just wanting to know what to do when they see a problem, when they see a concern, something that might be harming their community or the citizens within their community. Nobody wearing a mask in the UPS store that works there. That's a scary scenario when you think about how many people come in contact with people at the UPS store. But these are just phone calls of asking what to do. These are not scenarios where they're calling and they're saying, oh, my neighbor is not wearing a mask to their mailbox or when they're walking their dog. They're not telling on one another. They're attempting to try to find out what they can and can't do based on the mandate, which, by the way, is actually a law. It is actually enforced the same as a law. This guy has nothing better to do with his supposed professional reporting than to make these crazy claims which turn out to not be true on the very information, the very documentation that he's showing to us. But it's important enough for him to put it out there and claim that it's somehow damaging our liberty. So you know what one of his hashtags are on his channel on this particular video? Do not comply. Hashtag do not comply. That's do not comply with wearing a mask. Do not comply with social distancing. Because it's somehow harming our liberty. I guess it's harming our liberty the same exact way wearing a seatbelt does, right? The same exact way that it harms our liberty by not plugging in a curling iron and submerging it in water when we go to curl our hair in the bath. Absolutely the most ridiculous garbage I've ever heard in my life, but there are 15,000 people watching this jackass. Let's listen just a little bit further.
Educated about mask mandate, which is unlawful and unconstitutional. So all law enforcement watching this, if you're educating people on social distancing and wearing masks, you're violating your oath of office. Knock it off and quit your job, please.
He wants the law enforcement officers who are tasked with keeping their communities safe to quit their jobs because he believes that they've violated their oath. What an absolute vile human being this is. Well, let's educate him a little bit, shall we? First of all, on the claim that this is unconstitutional. What do governors have the right to do? Governors are responsible for implementing state laws and overseeing the operation of the state executive branch. As state leaders, governors advance and pursue new and revised policies and programs using a variety of tools, among them executive orders, executive budgets, and legislative proposals and vetoes. The governor has the power to sign or veto laws passed by legislature. He also has the right to executive orders which allow him to make the laws. And as you saw from my previous statement, mandates and laws act as in the same exact manner. And let's not forget the most important thing. States of emergency can also be used as a rationale or pretext for suspending rights and freedoms guaranteed under the country's constitution or basic laws, sometimes through martial law or revoking habeas corpus. We are in the middle of a state of emergency. Over 250,000 Americans are dead. Many of us have family members that have passed away due to this illness, and disgusting individuals like you who are putting up information to thousands of people claiming that they should not comply because it's somehow too difficult or something political to wear a mask to protect other individuals around you. It's not a humanity thing to you guys. No. It's all about some sort of control. Now they're trying to control your spit. Trying to control your snot. You're gosh darn right they are. because you need that kind of control. You clearly have no logic or rational thought when it comes to humanity. For those of you that would like to visit this channel, I will have the link to the video of the pieces that you just saw, that video, up for you guys in the description area. This will not be tolerated without exposure. I will continue to expose those that try to claim that this illness is a hoax of some sort. And I will definitely be exposing those of you who are okay with spreading around this illness and standing on what you believe to be some sort of freedom. Get a clue, people. Get a clue. We are wiping out our fellow human beings over a political ideology that is incorrect. This man clearly doesn't understand the laws of his own community, but yet he's a reporter? We can't let this disinformation continue to move forward. We can't do it. We are going to make the human race extinct in this way. All right, everyone. I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.